Welcome to this District 91 Hybrid Committee interview. Now, we've been doing a series where we're getting to grips with some of the hybrid pioneers who've been moving forward the pursuit of hybrid meetings in our district. Now, we've done some great interviews up till now. We've had some club presidents who've really been pushing the envelope further, but we're going to focus on our own homegrown committee for this particular interview. And tonight, or whenever you watch this video, we have Marta Gocek. Marta joined Toastmasters in 2018 upon founding her accountancy business. Learning the power of constructive evaluation has opened new perspectives for her. She met incredible Toastmasters that inspire her confidence in finding brilliant customers. When the pandemic struck, she was amongst the first to vote yes to move club meetings online. She's served as club secretary, president, and is now a vice president education in Canterbury Communicators. She joined the District 91 Hybrid Committee in May 2021. Good evening, Marta.
Good evening, Mike.
Lovely to have you here this evening. Moving on to our first question. Marta, why did you first get interested in Toastmasters hybrid meetings?
I started to look onto it for my club when I was a president last year, only when it became available. I thought that we really need to consider the hybrid. So this was when I started to look into it. Before I barely heard the word hybrid in this sense.
So when was the first time that you've heard hybrid in terms of meetings?
I suppose it must have happened somewhere around the conference, the district conference in May. I volunteered as a Zoom master, and Annelies Lepage, who is also a member of this committee now, I think that she mentioned it, and she invited me to one of the meetings. So this was a credit to Annelies from Toastmasters that I am here.
So that's how you got interested in hybrid meetings, but how did you get involved in the hybrid committee?
I simply said to Annelies, if there is anything going on in the District 91 that is concerning hybrid, please let me know about it. And when she let me know that the committee is looking for volunteers to join, I was really happy about going there, even though I didn't know at the time what will be the work and what will be the responsibilities of such a committee. But yes, I wanted to do it because I wanted our club to go hybrid, and I wanted to know more about it, to be able to support and to bring us to hybrid meetings as soon as possible.
Well, hopefully Mo will ask some more questions so we get to know more about your particular hybrid journey at your club. So over to you, Mo.
The next question for you, which I think you're going to enjoy answering because it seems you're having a lot of fun at the moment, is what has been your Toastmasters hybrid journey? What has the experience been like so far?
This is an inspirational journey, I have to say, Mo, because we are in such times that sort of challenge us in different ways, and becoming to meet online was the first challenge when the pandemic struck. But that was something that I really wanted it to happen, but didn't know much about it, how to be online, how to moderate the meeting, how to be a host in the meeting. But once it started, it sort of became an easy thing. However, with the hybrid, there were some other things to consider that were really difficult to even picture for me, even imagine for me. So I couldn't get my head around it. How to actually visit, how to see, how to host people in the room, and how to host people online. However, it has been on cards in the Toastmaster in the district, in the District 91, because people were talking about it, and some clubs were meeting hybrid. That they were, and particularly, I was in a meeting, in a training once that was conducted by a president of a club that had hybrid members. So I was very curious about it, and this was maybe a year ago, something like that. So it is not a long history. It is practically very short history that this hybrid came about.
Thank you very much. I suppose your curiosity is what has brought you along to become a member of the hybrid committee, and it's also been part of your club's transition. You voted for your meetings to go online, and now your clubs are trialing hybrid meetings. So well done, and I hope you continue to enjoy the journey. The one question I have to ask you is that, what has been your biggest challenge as a hybrid committee member? There must have been some challenges.
Yes, I think that this is a very good question, Mo, in the way that at the beginning, when I came to be a member of the District 91 committee, hybrid committee, I had no clue what the hybrid is about. And because I wanted to learn what it is, what it takes, I thought the best thing would be to volunteer for this, because anyway, we didn't know much about it. I don't think that many people knew about hybrid 2 years ago or maybe a year ago. So we were still in the uncharted waters. And I thought that Canterbury Communicators should be among the clubs that try hybrid. And I thought, if I could learn something for the benefit of our club, why shouldn't I learn for the benefit of the hybrid committee at the district? But my biggest challenge was I didn't know much. So I hoped that other members of the committee will shed some light, and that by the cooperation with clubs that were interested in hybrid, that we will learn more and more and more. So this was the main thing.
Thank you very much. The one thing I can say is we have all been learning together. I have been learning a lot from the members of the committee and from the very clever people we have in the District 91 family. Thank you very much for that answer. I will now hand back over to Mike for the next question. Over to you, Mike.
Marta, what was your biggest challenge as being a member of the hybrid committee? Well, let me turn that on its head and say, what's been your most rewarding experience as a member of the hybrid committee?
Mike, it is such a wonderful question that should be a pleasure to answer, because each of the individuals on the committee are so much more experienced in being Toastmasters and on their experience on the serving on the committees on the area and higher up in the district. So I was a newcomer among them, and my best experience was to learn from them. And also, I couldn't believe how quickly have we started that process of supporting the clubs in our district that wanted to go hybrid. And I learned so many skills on the way of the committee. It is since May, it is several months only, but we managed to do some interviews. We managed to prepare a wonderful one-page program for everyone to use when they think about hybrid. I think that working and working on it, collaborating on it, and looking at you, just sharing ideas, and yeah, it has been a marvelous process. I think it is great enjoyment of mine to be on that committee and to work together, to work collaboratively, to try finding solutions. I remember first time when witness speakers were to hold their first meeting. So many things, so many questions, but we tried to assist Mary Robson, the president, and it went. So this is such a joy to witness it.
Thank you, Marta. I think that's very much Toastmasters in a microcosm, isn't it? We learn from each other, we come together, we work together on projects. So everyone brings something along, everyone walks away with something learned. I think that in many ways the committee is just a smaller facet of the larger district and international work that Toastmasters does. I'm so glad that you've got something out of it. I know that I absolutely have the same. So we've been talking about what we've been doing within the district. You mentioned some of the clubs that we supported, but what's your perhaps longer term aspirational vision for what a kind of a hybrid District 91 might be?
This is something that I would like every single club that is in the district. I would encourage every single club to try hybrid, and to try hybrid in a way that doesn't exclude anyone. So I know that hybrid may mean running one meeting in person and another one online. If you have a club that has many meetings in the month, that may be acceptable. Although I wouldn't be very happy if I was a member, for example, online or in person, and I couldn't attend one of the meetings. So my dream is for each and every club in the district to give it a go and to run hybrid as we understand it. So have people in person and also accept online audience. And wherever I am in the training or when I visit places where Toastmasters are gathered, I try to encourage everyone to just give it a go. Just not be overwhelmed by maybe high costs of tech or inability to do this. I would encourage everyone to just give it a go.
Thank you, Marta. I think that's a wonderful vision, fantastically explained, and a dream I think we can all work towards. I mean, certainly a dream I think that hopefully can come true. Now, you were mentioning clubs, individual club activities there. So I'll pass over to Mo, who I think has some questions about club level activities. So over to you, Mo.
Thank you very much, Mike. And Marta, interesting journey so far. And I suppose it's important to actually ask some club-specific questions. I know you were the club president last year, and you are now the VPE for your club, Canterbury Communicators. Working with your committee and as a committee member, how did you lead your club transition and discussions towards now running hybrid meetings?
I think that what was my inspiration was to try to inspire my committee and members of our club to think about it in a very positive way. I tried to speak about going hybrid as a great opportunity to learn new skills, to look at something that me or you or every single member can use to their advantage when they work for their business, when they meet the family members or something, because we just say, oh, hybrid, and it can be so daunting or intimidating, but it isn't, because actually hybrid is a meeting. If my husband and I are sitting in a room and we are chatting online with our children, so it is about also business skills that I am acquiring. So I tried to present it in this way, and I'm so glad that our committee was on the same page with me, sort of agreeing and wanting to give it a go, and then just modify it on the way, and then in 6 months' time give it another assessment and see how we go from there. So I'm really happy about it, that our members, that Canterbury Communicators wanted to do it, and that there is several people who want to come and work with the setup in Canterbury College, because going hybrid places more stress on people who are in the room. I mean, they have to grapple the setup and also be very mindful of online audience and everyone. But working with the committee, not doing it myself, but working with the committee and trying to inspire the members, that was the way forward.
Thank you very much. I like the fact that you've referenced the word inspire a few times. So in a way, as a club committee member and leader, you have inspired your committee and your members. I also like the fact that you've referenced hybrid, as people can think about hybrid, but in simple terms, having a conversation with some family members online and some in the room is simply a form of hybrid as well. I suppose maybe when it now comes to a Toastmasters meeting where we have a structure, where we now need a timer, where we now need some other things to take place, it's maybe not as simple as that. So what I would now ask is, what are the challenges? What are the specific challenges, maybe one or two, for the benefit of those who are listening, that your club has faced in your transition to hybrid? One challenge that we faced at Kent Speakers is we didn't even have a venue when the lockdown was lifted. We needed to find a new venue. And how did you overcome these challenges?
Mo, this is very much a process. This is overcoming challenges all the time. One challenge is the situation, the situation that we don't have control over, which is pandemic. So we have been in it for so many months now, and people can feel exhausted. They can feel all sorts of problems or matters that they feel they need to solve at the moment. So this transition can be really difficult, and sometimes it weighs on the how many members we have, how many members will be ready to come and to be ready to be in person to set up, and how many members will join us online. I find that the challenge can be, one of the challenges can be to encourage more members to come in person, because it is strange thing is happening. Once we went online, people were waiting, oh, when will we come back to the room in person? But now we have the room in person, we can be there in person. People have thought, oh, actually I live quite far away from that college, so maybe it is better for me to join online tonight. All of a sudden it feels it is better to stay online rather than in person. So my challenge will be to build up the membership numbers to come to our physical space. Another challenge will be to master the setup of hybrid so that the members in Canterbury College do not feel like in a waiting room of GP. This was one comment of our members. On the other side, on the other hand, to also have this small picture, the audience room that is seen on the online for everyone online, that is slightly closer to them, so that everyone on the both sides of screen feel included. I think this will be the biggest challenge.
Okay, thank you very much. My own take from that is people are now, after being online for quite a while, are now feeling more comfortable in front of the screen rather than now that they can attend in person. People are now enjoying logging in online, which means the opportunity they have to attend in person or online is giving them more choice, flexibility. So that's proven to be a challenge, though that's a good thing. And then I also understand that in terms of the dynamics of making sure there's more of a connection and a meeting feel for those who are attending online and in person. So I'm sure that those are challenges that lots of clubs are going to face. And I know you've mentioned that this is something you're trialing, and I am sure that this is something that will improve. So thank you very much for that. What I will now do is I will now hand over to Mike for the next questions.
Thank you, Mo. And I'm going to continue the trend of being the yin to Mo's yang. In this instance, he's talked about challenges. I will once again focus on the positives and talk about the benefits. So what in this move to hybrid have been the benefits for your club members, and what's the feedback been like?
The most interesting feedback I've had is that I see that the members that came to the college, actually, they started to see the technical side of it not so challenging, not challenging anymore, because before they would be reluctant to come in person, reluctant to even touch a computer, laptop, you know, do the all the camera, microphone, checking whether a speaker works. Oh, have we got have we do the online audience see us? Are we seen or heard by the audience, and so on? So it is really heartening to see that more members who would not normally consider themselves technical or interested in computers and things like that, that they feel, oh, this actually is not as bad as I felt. So I think it's wonderful for me to see that transformation of people, that they feel more at ease at hybrid. And as it was mentioned before, before we started online, we weren't very confident on online, on hosting, on Zoom. But now it is so comfortable for us. So I hope that by the time, maybe in 2 months, 3 months, our members become more confident with hybrid setting, and more of them will feel wonderful coming to Canterbury College instead of staying behind the screen of their computer.
And again, isn't that what Toastmasters is all about? I mean, it's there to get us over these artificial fears, these barriers we put in front of ourselves. So the fact that this is encouraging people to get beyond a barrier they might have about technology is marvelous. Again, we're here to take away barriers. We're here to develop and instill confidence in people. Hybrid is just one more challenge to add to that collection. And technology, for better or worse, isn't going anywhere. So if we can do that for our members, I think that can only be a plus. So you touched on this a little earlier in the discussion, but if you had sort of some nuggets of information, some solid advice to pass on to clubs that were considering hybrid meetings or starting up some trials, what would that be?
I think, Mike, that clubs should consider looking for the venue that has conference items, that runs conferences, because nowadays more and more places, more and more venues accepted the fact that we are in such times that the pandemic may endure, that we may have other events that will make us work from home or from any other place that we find ourselves. So I think it is important to try with the venue. If venue has all or part of the equipment, then the club will not need as much investment in technology, in new things. But there are really only few things that we have to have hybrid meeting, to have successful hybrid meeting. And I think it is so good to go and visit the clubs that are running hybrid meetings, to see what they are and to ask them what they are. And I, from our club position, I think that the important things that we have to buy now are cameras and microphone. Until now, we have been using our own mobile phones as cameras. So cheap and instant and very good quality. But camera is better, because if you have camera, then you can use your mobile to check whether someone has come, or have they lost their way to the room, or whatever it can be. So, and also microphone. We can use, at Canterbury College, we can use microphone, but we consider that this is not the best one. So we are now purchasing one that should really cater for those needs of people who are online and could not hear that properly. So they could hear whoever was Zoom host in the place, but they couldn't hear the speaker properly. So that's what we are doing now. From that to another thing, just try and get it, you know, improved step by step. But don't worry, try, and it will be good. It will be a good experience, and you learn, and this will be wonderful. For me, the most beautiful thing is that if we have members from London, if we have members who are joining us from another part of the globe, it's so brilliant to have them in Canterbury College, to have them at the same time. It is the most beautiful thing in the world for me.
Thank you, Marta. And again, I mean, the phrase location, location, location holds true in so many occasions, and this is definitely one of it. I mean, you've got to have the right place, the right setup, and the right kind of a catchment area of people. And I think you've touched on all of those in your answer there. So I think it's time for me to pass over to Mo for the final set of questions to really sort of maybe look towards the future. Over to you, Mo.
Thank you, Mike. Marta, interesting questions and answers so far, which only can lead to, let's look towards the future. The Toastmasters mission is about empowering individuals to become more effective leaders and communicators. As we now move into hybrid meetings, the question is, what is the greatest opportunity, or what are the opportunities that hybrid meetings can provide for individuals and clubs as we try to fulfill the Toastmasters mission of becoming more effective leaders and better communicators?
I think there is an excellent opportunity for Toastmasters and for guests to get those important skills that are in, and they will not go for the future, for, I don't know, maybe next 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. That is changing phase of the working, changing patterns of working. At Toastmasters, we learn to communicate better. To communicate better, it is not only about spending time with friends, but also learning vital skills. I think that hybrid, alongside paths and educational program that Toastmasters have, are a very important and up-to-date skill that is giving us that upper hand when we apply for a job, when we look to increase the base of our customers, if we have a business, or if we maybe think about changing from employment to running a business, or maybe running a, I don't know, being a volunteer or whatever. I think that hybrid is just increasing our to me it is something that, you know, I'm always hungry to learn new skills, and for me this is just, I couldn't say no to such an opportunity. I know there can be bumps and things that you know are you need to master, but it's opportunity. For me, it is a massive growth opportunity. That's what I would say.
Thank you very much. I suppose what I would add to that really is just, or to reiterate, is you said there will be bumps, and essentially without the so-called challenges, we don't grow. It is the challenges we overcome, in essence, that is really the opportunity that it is we have to grow. And we have come to the last question. And I suppose this question, I'm going to frame this as a club question, because ultimately, while we're here to empower individuals to become effective communicators and leaders, we do it in a club framework. It's the club, the unit, that is the most powerful thing in Toastmasters. What would you consider the best possible outcome with hybrid meetings for your club in the future as we serve our members?
I think the wonderful option would be have most of the members of our club to come and be present in the meetings. However, I imagine that there always would be members of audience, of online audience, whether there is an older member of the community who doesn't want to really come and go and join people, more people in the room because their loved one is sheltering, or maybe it is another person from another part of the country, or maybe another country, that wants to see how the Canterbury communicators work in that wonderful cathedral city. So I think the way forward is to keep that face-to-face meeting possible, but never cut off the opportunities that come with members who can join us online. It can only be rewarding and, enriching us all. So I hope that once the first technical hurdles are over, we will master them so that everyone feels as comfortable as and as pleasant in a meeting, and so that they will come, that they will want to come back and come back and come back.
Thank you very much, Marta. We have come to the end of this conversation at this point in time, but the conversation comes to an end, but also continues. I do gather from Marta that Canterbury Communicators is going international. If you're watching this and you're looking for a hybrid club to join, Canterbury Communicators may be the club for you. Marta has mentioned a lot of the things that we do, a lot of the challenges that the clubs have faced in terms of running hybrid meetings. These are all transferable skills, as she's mentioned, from Toastmasters to work and to family. The benefits are there. I would like to say, once again, thanks to Mike for taking part in this interview, and thanks to Marta. Until we reconvene, thank you very much.